There's a lot of uncertainty in the world of education right now. And even before talks of reducing funding for education, speech language professionals were overworked and undersupported. But amidst this stress and uncertainty, I bring you a message of hope, because this is also a time of unparalleled technological advancements. New technologies have the potential to save us if we're willing to try something new. I'm Carrie Clark.
And I'm James Clark.
And on today's episode of the Speech and Language Kids podcast, we are going to show you that together you can use these emerging technologies to find solutions to our profession's biggest problems and find ways to support our clients, our families, and ourselves in ways that we didn't even know were possible. All right, so this is our first podcast of the new year. And to kick us off, I have a helper here. Make sure you lean into the microphone. What's your name?
Hi, I'm James Clark.
And why are you here in my office today instead of at school?
Because it snowed and yay, I don't have to go to school.
Okay, don't yell. People are listening. It's right in their earbuds.
Sorry.
All right, so I would like you to start us off on our new year of podcasts by telling us if you have any New Year's goals or New Year's intentions that you would like to set.
I would like to try to focus on not fighting with my brother as much.
I love that goal. What a great goal for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any methods you're going to use any strategies you're going to use to get there?
Maybe make peace offerings.
Ooh, peace offerings.
Like baking pumpkin muffins, which is what I'm doing right now.
All right. Well, you go bake some pumpkin muffins, and I'm going to do this podcast, okay?
All right. Bye, everybody.
Love you, bud.
No further questions, please.
All right. While he is getting out of my office, I'm going to let you know that all of the links and notes for everything we're going to talk about today are over on the website, speechandlanguagekids.com/future. So if you're watching this in the future, that will be where you'll find the show notes. But we are also live here inside the hub right now. So welcome Rachel, Cindy, Jeanette, Kira, and Donna. Hi, everyone. If you guys have any questions as we're going along, please go ahead and put those in. I would also love to hear if there is something that you would like to see us focus on in the new year for Speech and Language Kids. So put that in the comment section as well, and we can kind of have a running list of resources. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Ann. Welcome, guys. All right. So to start us off today, I want to take you back to the year 2020. I first remember hearing about the coronavirus as just a chuckle during a meeting when somebody told us that they were planning on going to a conference in China, and somebody else had said, "Oh, I don't think you should be going to China right now. That illness is going around." And we literally all chuckled, thinking that person was overreacting. Then I remember feeling that fear growing as the virus spread. And I remember when it finally hit that my kids were not going back to school and we were all locking down. And my first reaction, of course, was fear for myself and fear for my family. But once that initial fear wore off and we were hunkered down and the world hadn't officially ended at all, I realized that I had an amazing opportunity to help all of you, because you were suddenly thrust into a world of online therapy with zero time to prepare or get trained or any of the resources you needed to do it. So I started out with a simple crash course in teletherapy video, just put it on YouTube, and it spread like wildfire because you guys were drowning and you latched onto that video like that was your life preserver. And so we made more videos. We made more resources. I continued to grow and change our membership to be what you guys needed it to be to support you through that new situation that you found yourselves in. So now we come to 2025, 5 years later, and I really think that we find ourselves at the brink of a new reality shift, just as we did 5 years ago. You're all drowning again, though it looks different this time. And many of you seem like you're on the brink of burning out or quitting if you haven't already. And so as we as a profession are becoming more and more overwhelmed, I am also seeing more and more kids that are needing our support, which of course just taxes the system. And it is this snowball that feels like it's rolling out of control down a hill. And once again, I find myself with the opportunity, or maybe even an obligation, to throw you a life preserver. So today, I bring you a message of hope. Yes, the world is chaotic. Yes, things are stressful. But I find an amazing amount of hope in the new technologies that we are seeing come available to us and that we are watching improve and change and grow at a breakneck pace. These technologies are wowing me. And I say this as a person who is a late adopter to new technologies. I am not generally one who jumps onto the new technologies and says, look at this new thing. I'm going to try it out. It takes me a while, which is probably why Gen AI or ChatGPT has been out for a couple of years and I still haven't tried it. But it is coming to a point that I can no longer ignore it and I no longer want to. Because computers and artificial intelligence, or AI, now can provide us with quicker and easier ways to do the grunt work parts of our job so that we can spend our time and energies on helping the kids. There are these emerging technologies and they have the potential to save us hours of work per week if we use them well. Now, I am sure some of you heard the word AI and immediately your hackles were raised just like mine usually were. And yes, there are, of course, ways that these can be used irresponsibly, all of these new technologies. But that's all the more reason for you and I to step in now and start leading the way on how to use these new technologies the right way and how to use them to help us. Because here's the key. Yes, AI could replace us in speech therapy and do the speech therapy for us. Would it be good? No. Would it help the kids? No. That's the human piece. That's the piece that we need to do, right? But how about coming up with a custom word list that are specific to the words that your kid needs to practice and their interests? That would take you maybe 20 minutes to come up with a word list, maybe faster if you're good at thinking on the ball. That would take AI less than a second, right? So those pieces, the pieces that are the grunt work, the pieces that don't necessarily require a human touch to make, maybe to revise and edit and make sure that they're accurate, but to actually just generate ideas, those are the parts that we can responsibly pass off to the technology. And then we will have more time, more energy for our therapy and for our connections, connecting with other human beings in this world. And it can make our therapy more effective. What if that word list was all Minecraft words and your client loves Minecraft? Heck, you just had a much more effective session because you tied it to his interests and it took you 0 extra seconds of work to do, right? So cool. These technologies, these options, these possibilities are what's getting me super excited about 2025. But I can't do this alone. I know that you don't have the time to sift through these new technologies and learn how to make them work and figure out how to prompt the ChatGPT and how to tweak it and how to make it exactly what you need. I know you don't have the time or resources to build out the tools that are going to make your job easier, just like you didn't have that time to research and reinvent your therapy and meet the sudden requirements to do teletherapy in 2020. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. I can dive into these new technologies. I can figure out how we can make them work to support us as SLPs, not replace us, but to make our jobs easier. But these technologies are too costly in both time, energy, and money for one SLP to build alone. And that's where our community comes into place. So when we combine the full forces of the Speech and Language Kids Hub, which I believe I checked this morning was at 10,500 members in our hub, our community, including our full paid members and our free members and everybody, all of you. If we combine the forces of that full community, we can divide those efforts so that it is more manageable. Through your support, then I can focus my time on building out these new tools for you to use. And with over 10,000 of you out there giving me feedback and trying it out and telling me what you do and don't like and what you need, I can get those tools to where we need them to be in much less time. And that's what I'm super excited about. So, okay, I see a whole bunch of you inside the hub watching this. Awesome. Hey, Sue, Stephanie, Renee, Jennifer, Carling, Jackson, Coral, Lisa, and I think I said hi to the rest of you. Hello to all of you. Okay, let me know in the chat, what are you feeling about this? How do these things that I'm talking about sound, and what feedback do you have? What do you want to see more of? What would you love to have simplified in your work? I want to hear what you guys think. Okay, so let's talk about what is coming for Speech and Language Kids. So, obviously, I'm going to be using the Speech and Language Kids Hub as my main base and launch pad for these new technologies, these new ideas, and all of these resources. So if you don't know, I've been talking about it, so you probably do. But if you don't know, the Speech and Language Kids Hub is our community. It's our membership site. And you have to have a login and a username to get in, but then there's free plans, there's paid plans, there's all different variations depending on what you need and how much you need. So just to get in, join the community, chat with us, watch these live podcast recordings, all of that is free. There's over 90 different freebie worksheets, handouts, those kinds of things that you can grab. And then in the full membership is where we have our more robust tools, our training kits. I'm actually just about to launch the therapy kit for advocating for your own self wants and needs. So teaching kids how to advocate for themselves. That should be coming up here in the next, hopefully, hour or so. We'll see if I get it done today. But yes, all of these new technologies that I want to include, all of the kits, all of the therapy materials, all of the training, the courses, all of that is going to be inside the full hub membership. And I'm just going to keep adding the tools that you guys need. And hopefully that will allow me to get your feedback, give you access to things more quickly, make sure that we are perfecting these tools, and then also filling in the gaps for the things that are missing. Okay, Lisa says, interactive materials for students with limited verbal skills and diagnosis of ASD that do not take hours of prep. Absolutely. Yes, I love this. Okay, so that's another one. Let's see. Okay, so I already have created 7 infinite material generators. So these are word list generators, social scenario generators, picture generators, reading passage generators, and basically you say the age level, the skill you want to work on, and a topic, and we'll pop it up for you. We'll generate a new word list, a new reading passage, so you can use these in therapy. That's already inside the hub. We already have a goal wording generator, so if you know what goal you want to work on, it'll help you word the goal for you. We have an accommodations and modifications generator. So if you need to know some classroom strategies that could be used to help a kid, we've got that too, right? So those are already in there, up and running for our full paid members. But I have so many more ideas. So Lisa said interactive materials. Yes, this is what I want. And I've been stuck. I've wanted to do this for a while, but I've been stuck on how to get interactive materials inside the hub because it takes so much time for me to build one tool. But that's the beauty of AI. If I can build a framework within the artificial intelligence that says, here's how we teach this skill, here's how I want it to look, then you guys potentially, this is not here yet, but you could potentially go in and say, okay, I want to work on this skill at this level, and it will pop you up an auto-generated material based on the way I've already said, this is how we do this, right? It sounds very cool to me. I also would love to build some sort of a session planner where you could say, okay, I've got a kid working on S and single words, one working on answering where questions, and another one working on initiating interactions. And they're all in the same group. It's a 30-minute group and it starts in 5 minutes. What should I do? And it would, in just a matter of seconds, fill out a lesson plan for you, give you some ideas of things you could do that would work on all those skills together, pop up some custom word lists, a social scenario, and the list of questions. And all of that would, again, be based on the way I'm already teaching you how to do this. So you could grab the kit, the no prep kit that's already in the material library inside the hub, or you could just grab it right off the lesson plan and it would all generate together so that you don't have to spend your time digging through the resources, trying to figure out which one you need. It will basically curate these things for you and give you examples to practice with. So again, those parts, not there yet. I have to figure out all the technology thing, but that's what I mean. If we can support each other as a community. If you can support me and give me this time to work through these and make these tools, then I see so much potential to how we could solve so many of our problems as speech language pathologists and so many of the problems that our parents are facing, where parents want to work on skills at home, but they don't have time to go get a speech pathology master's degree. If we can give them home activities that are tied to our therapy activities, right? There's so much. I have so much. I'm probably rambling. But those are the kinds of things that I would like to create this year inside the hub, maybe even tools that help you manage your caseload and your paperwork. But to do that, I need a huge member base to support me and to be ready to test the new technologies when they come out so that we can iterate and perfect them. Because most of these tools work best through having data in terms of not your personal data, not giving them any kid data, but just, okay, what are people searching for? What comes out if we say it this way? How can we tweak it, right? So lots of cool stuff that I have in mind. But it's not all about the technology either, because I know that we need more than just fancy tools with fancy technology, right? Don't worry, I'm not jumping straight into the technology and leaving that personal touch behind, because that is what I do best, is that personal touch with each and every one of you. Yes, I'm using AI to help me do some of my grunt work so I have more time to connect directly with each of you. But I'm also going to be using my time to create more and more of the no prep therapy kits inside the hub so that you do have those pre-made therapy materials that you can use in therapy, either on paper or on your screen. And then again, I can use that technology, the AI, I can use that as a shortcut for me to be able to create those resources faster. Because that's been another limiting factor over the past couple years, is I can only create so many kits and so many programs per day, per hour, per week. And so it takes me so long to create these resources that if I can use the technology to help me, then I can create you guys resources faster. So all of those kits that I am creating will go directly into the hub. Like I said, I was just right before this podcast, I was working on one for teaching a child to advocate for their own wants and needs. So that's going to go up live here either later today or tomorrow. And then those kits could also be feeding back into any tools that I'm creating to make sure that any auto-generated resources are based on those same evidence-based methods that I'm using for my kits, right? So it's a win-win-win. We're all winning, and I love it. All right, so those of you who are in here with me live in the hub, so many of you, welcome. I'm so excited to have you all in here. Let me know, how is this sounding? Are you liking this? Which are you more excited about? More kits or the interactive materials or the tools to help with the grunt work? What sounds best? Pop over into the comments and let me know what you guys think. And if you are not already a member of the hub, I invite you to join us. You can go to hub.speechandlanguagekids.com. I will be leaning heavily on my members to ask you guys what you want, letting each and every one of you decide the future of the tools that we're building to make sure that I am spending my time in the way that best serves you, because I know that I can't do this alone, and I know that you can't do this alone. But together, I'm pretty sure that we can change our profession in a way that really has never been seen before. And I think we can help more kids than we've ever been able to before. So I'm excited. All right, Kira says kits, more kits. I love it. Yes, absolutely. That is going to be the main focus, is making sure we have a kit for every skill. I believe we are at 108 before we get the self-advocacy one in today. That'll be 109 skills covered. And we're just going to keep adding to it. So if there is a skill that you need that we don't have, make sure you put a comment into the hub on the discussion board and we'll add it to the list, and we're just going to keep going, and it's going to be amazing. So that's what's coming for 2025. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast if you haven't. We'll be putting out a new episode every week. Next week is going to be AAC apps and how to use them. So that'll be a good one. and we'll just keep moving on through and finding you guys all the support you need. So, oh, I'm muffled. Interesting. All right. Well, hopefully the sound came through okay, well enough for you guys to hear me, but we'll work on the audio quality for next week. But thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you next week on the podcast or inside the hub. Bye for now.